Good morning. Day 29. Today's weight 82.9 kg. So it's definitely a good sign that my weight is hovering around that, new low. Right? So usually what happens is it will stagnate a bit, then it will go for another new low. Then that's the kind of trend that we'd like to see when diet everything is consistent, right? So today is a rest day, no training, no cardio by right. Okay, but I feel like doing some cardio, right, just to burn some extra fat. Okay, so if you were to ask me whether doing cardio on rest days is still considered rest, right, it really depends on the type of cardio you're doing. So anything that is zone 2 and below, right, is perfectly okay. It's even recommended, right, by some because it helps with recovery when you are doing low intensity cardio, because promotion of the blood throughout the body, right? So that's what I will be doing, some incline treadmill for about 30 minutes, nothing too crazy. Okay, but let's say if it's a rest day, don't be doing any high intensity HIIT, that kind of cardio, right? Because that will definitely be, you know, affecting your rest and recovery. Okay, so the reason why I'm only doing this cardio is mainly two reasons. Because I want it. I feel like doing something. I like to go to the gym, and secondly, of course, is to just burn some extra fat, since my body right now is in a good fat burning mode, right? So I want to take this opportunity to really maximize the extra fat. Okay, and based on the numbers, okay, if I were to average out so far per week, I think I'm losing roughly 0.7 kg. Okay, so very close to my 1% goal per week, right? But there's still a bit more room that we can play with. So this is not completely necessary. Okay, it's just something that I just want to do it. Okay, so if you are considering whether you should be doing cardio on your rest days, right? It really depends on you. If you feel like it, then you go for it. If not, just take the complete rest day and then just stay consistent on those days that you're supposed to train and do your cardio. Okay, and I'll see you guys later.
Okay, so today I will show you guys the importance of weighing your food, okay, versus just estimating, right? So, of course, if you are eating out, right, chances, unless you are super obsessed or prepping for a bodybuilding show, you won't bring your scale out, okay? So, if that's the case, it's okay. Just try to estimate to the best of your ability, right? But right now, I bought 3 of this salmon nigiri from outside, right? So I just want to see the difference between tracking, just estimating, versus weighing out the individual ingredients and the difference in calories. Okay, so right here, based on my fitness mile, right, one salmon nigiri, okay, is 48 calories. Okay, one little piece like this. Okay, so I'm going to weigh out the salmon and the rice individually and see if that number is at least somewhere close. Okay, the calories first. Okay, wait. Okay, I think firstly let's weigh out like individual, right? So this box right here, 185 grams. See, 165. So this box, okay, maybe with the cover it will be 177. Okay, not much difference lah. Okay, so in terms of one piece, it's still rather accurate. Okay, wait, the wind is quite strong. Let me. Okay, I know what to do. So I will just do the negative minus the, because the wind is pretty strong. Okay, so first take out the salmon. Okay, so this is 7 grams. Right, so what I'll do is I'll search salmon raw salmon lah, in fact. Okay, so 7 grams. Oh, 8 grams. Okay, so 8 grams is about 17 calories, 1.6 grams of protein, right? So for the sushi rice, okay, minus this out again, is 20 grams. Okay. So, based on the estimate, one is only 36 calories. Okay. If I were to calculate based on the raw salmon weight and the sushi rice weight. Okay. In terms of accuracy, okay, it's almost spot on lah. Okay. In terms of macros, the one that I calculate salmon nigiri is 5 grams of carbs, weigh out is 4 grams, fat 1 gram, protein 2 gram. Okay, so in terms of estimation wise, this is super accurate. But do know that not all will be like this, right? Maybe because this is the closest that you can find. So ultimately, if you are going to eat out and then the restaurant or store doesn't provide any nutrition information, best is if you can bring back the food for once, weigh it out one time, okay, then at least you can save an estimate of that calorie. So in the long term, when you estimate, right, it will be more accurate. Okay, I think this. Okay, so today, if let's say I'm out, right, I did not have access to a scale, I will probably just estimate it as the 48 calories, and it will be very close. But do note let's say if you only eat one, then if you are a bit far off from the estimate, it's still okay, right? But because I want to have 3, right, that's why I believe it's even more important to be more accurate lah. Okay, so let's try another piece. Okay, so for this, the salmon is 6 gram. Okay, so some slight difference, but the idea, right, is like you want everything to be balanced out. Okay, so this one has slightly more. Okay, so 7. Okay, 7 is pretty close lah. Okay, 7, and then the rice is 17. Okay, so 18. Okay, so let's see. So for this one, 7 and 18. Okay, so you see there is some grams discrepancy here and there. This is the reason why, sometimes I want to weigh this out. Okay, here's what I'll do. I will remove everything. I will remove all the salmon and rice separately, and then I will weigh out 2 different. Then I will compare how many pieces if I were to estimate versus the total amount of calories in terms of weight. Okay, so let me do this, and I will see you guys after I'm done. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So if I were to, let me just put first 18 pieces. Okay, so 18 pieces, right, is 873 calories. Okay, so let me weigh out everything, and then let's see how much difference in terms of the calories. Okay, so the results are in. So for the salmon, 139 grams, right? So that is about 289 calories, 27.8 grams of protein. For the sushi rice, 333 grams, 320 calories. Okay, so just now 18 pieces of salmon nigiri, right, is 873 calories. Okay, so the actual weigh out portion is only 609 calories. Okay, protein wise, in terms of macros, so the one that is estimated, they over did it on the carbs, right? So protein very similar, 34 grams versus 32 grams. Okay, so I'm talking in terms of like the weight versus estimate. So fats 19 grams versus 22 grams, and then 67 grams of carbs versus 98 grams. So most probably, because one piece itself, right, not much difference, like 10 calories. Okay, but because this is 18 pieces, that 10 calories you times 18, 180 calories discrepancy, right? So for this is about 260 calories discrepancy. Okay, so honestly speaking, right, if let's say you don't have access to a scale, it's not that much big of the deal, right? Like you are still technically you are overestimating how much you consume. So in terms of like the fat loss, you will still be well within your goal. But what if it's the other direction, right? Then this is the reason why I say, like, if let's say if it's a one-off thing, then maybe it's okay, because ultimately having an estimate is better than not estimating anything, right? But if you can, you know, try to weigh it out at least once so that you have this number, right? The more pieces, the better lah. Then you can have this, save it into your MyFitnessPal. So every time you eat this out, you can use back the same entries. Okay. So the only problem is now you have to, you know, put it back lah. But I can, you know, can just enjoy this like this. Okay. So I hope this video helps. Okay. So if let's say you are eating, you know, you have more calories to consume, right? Then it won't make much of a difference, right? But let's say if your calories is low, okay, like you are eating, I don't know, like 1,005 calories, then 200 of 1,005 versus 200 of 3K, you know, the calories matter more, right? And then the accuracy has to be higher. This is the reason why I keep on advocating the fact that, you know, as much as possible, try to keep your food sources and diet consistent, even though with calories and macros, right, essentially you can eat whatever you want, right? But then, you know, if you keep estimating and then you don't follow, you don't eat foods with nutrition information, right, then this is where the hidden calories so-called come. And then if you're wondering why you're not losing weight, that's the reason lah. Okay, so try to be as accurate as possible. Time to enjoy this. Okay, so hungry, that's why I'm having 18 pieces. Okay, but see, if I were to be lazy and not weigh out, then I would have eaten 200 calories less. Okay, let's give it a try. So technically for this is quite easy, right? Yep. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so weigh if possible.